Hello, my dear friends, and welcome to the English reading class. I'm going to read a sentence and then you are going to repeat it after me. While repeating, I'm also going to read the sentence and you are going to repeat with me. So let's get started. And before that, please share this video with your friends so that it will be of help for them. And please subscribe the channel if you are new to the channel. Okay? So let's get started. Dick Whittington and his cat. Dick Whittington and his cat. There was once a poor boy. There was once a poor boy called Dick Whittington. Called Dick Whittington, who lived in a small village. Who lived in a small village in the south of England. In the south of England. He had no proper home. He had no proper home. For both his parents. For both his parents had died and he was had died and he was unkindly treated by many of the villagers. By many of the villagers. One day, Dick overheard someone say that the streets of London were paved with gold, and he decided that he would go there at once and pick his fortune up in gold pieces from the streets. For he thought people might treat him more kindly if he were rich. So young Dick set out to walk to London. He had not gone far when a man in a cart stopped and asked him if he was running away from home. I have no home, Dick answered. I am on my way to London. I am on my way to London to find my fortune. To find my fortune. I'm going to London myself. I'm going to London myself, said the carter. Said the carter. Jump up here beside me. Jump up here beside me, and we will journey together. And we will journey together. They arrived in London. They arrived in London just before nightfall. Just before nightfall. And the carter left Dick and made his way to an inn. Left Dick and made his way to an inn. Poor Dick stood alone and looked around him in dismay. Where was all that fine gold? Where was all that fine gold? All he could see were dirty streets. All he could see were dirty streets and lots of unfriendly people. And lots of unfriendly people. He had nowhere to sleep. He had nowhere to sleep. And in the end, he spent the night in the corner of an alley where he hoped he would come to no harm. Where he hoped he would come to no harm. The next morning, Dick woke up cold, miserable and very hungry. He wandered around begging for food. But again and again, people shouted at him. Go away, you lazy fellow. Go away, you lazy fellow. Be off with you. And aimed angry blows at his head. At last, he collapsed in the street and lay there. Too weak to look further for food. By chance, Dick had fallen in front of a house. Belonging to a rich merchant called Mr. Fitzwarren. The cook was trying to drive Dick away. When Mr. Fitzwarren returned home from inspecting his ships. ships. He stopped and said to Dick. He stopped and said to Dick, "Why don't you work if you need food? Why don't you work if you need food?" "I would work. I would work," said Dick. "But I know nobody. But I know nobody who will give me anything to do. Who will give me anything to do?" So students, I hope you will enjoy this reading session. Please practice reading and your reading will improve. I'll be back with the next video with the next English reading session. Okay, till then, take care and bye-bye.